Hey, StormLock squad! Today we're diving deep into the gaming archives. You know those games everyone raves about? Elden Ring, God of War, Cyberpunk 2077? Yeah, they're awesome. But what about the unsung heroes, the hidden gems? We're talking about games that are pure gold, but for some reason, the gaming world just forgot. Well, not on my watch. Get ready, because we're about to unearth the 20 incredible forgotten games that you need to play. Trust me, your backlog is about to get a whole lot more interesting. Let's go. Kicking off our list at number 20, we have one of the greatest redemption stories in gaming history. No Man's Sky. Developed by Hello Games, this ambitious space exploration game launched in 2016 to a very mixed reception, but has since evolved into something truly incredible. You start on a procedurally generated planet, repair your ship, and then embark on an infinite journey through a vast, vibrant, and ever-expanding universe. The core gameplay loop involves exploration, survival, combat, and trading. You can discover new planets, build bases, manage your fleet, engage in dogfights, and even explore with friends in co-op. The sheer scale and freedom are mind-boggling. So why was it forgotten? Its initial launch was plagued by unfulfilled promises and a lack of content, leading to massive backlash. But Hello Games never gave up, and through years of free, massive updates, they've transformed No Man's Sky into the game it was always meant to be. If you dismissed it at launch, or just haven't had a chance to dive in, No Man's Sky is a universe of wonder waiting to be explored. It's a testament to developer dedication and a truly excellent game today. Next up, at number 19, we have the relentlessly addictive Dead Cells. Developed by Motion Twin and released in 2018, this roguelite Metroidvania is a masterclass in satisfying combat and endless replayability. You play as a failed alchemic experiment, a headless protagonist who possesses corpses to fight his way through a constantly changing, interconnected island. The combat is incredibly fluid, fast-paced, and responsive, with a massive arsenal of weapons and skills to discover and master. Every run feels fresh thanks to the procedural generation, and the permadeath system, while punishing, encourages you to learn and adapt. The pixel art is gorgeous, and the constant stream of updates and free DLC has only made the game better over time. So why is it on this list? It's a challenging indie game in a niche genre, and while it's sold millions, it might not be as widely recognized as some AAA titles. But if you're looking for a brutally fair, endlessly rewarding, and incredibly fun action platformer that will test your skills and keep you coming back for more, Dead Cells is a masterpiece of its genre. Sliding into number 18, we have the mind-bending, hilarious, and deeply empathetic Psychonauts 2. Developed by Double Fine Productions and released in 2021, this platformer is a long-awaited sequel that absolutely delivers. You rejoin Rasputin Aquato, a young psychic acrobat, as he delves into the minds of others to uncover a conspiracy within the Psychonauts organization. The game's level design is pure genius, with each mind world being a unique, visually stunning, and often hilarious representation of a character's psyche. The platforming is fluid, the psychic powers are creative, and the writing is top-notch, full of witty dialogue and genuinely touching moments that explore themes of mental health with sensitivity and humor. So why might it be overlooked? The first game wasn't a massive commercial success, and while the sequel was highly anticipated by fans, it might not have reached a broader audience. But if you're looking for a truly original, heartwarming, and incredibly creative platformer with a fantastic story and unforgettable characters, Psychonauts 2 is a mental marvel that will leave a lasting impression. Coming in at number 17, we have the incredibly moving and challenging platformer Celeste. Developed by Maddie Makes Games and released in 2018, this indie darling is more than just a game. It's an emotional journey. You play as Madeline, a young woman attempting to climb the treacherous Celeste mountain, all while battling her inner demons and anxiety. The gameplay is deceptively simple: jump, air dash, and climb. But the level design is a masterclass in precision platforming, with every death serving as a lesson. The controls are incredibly tight and responsive, making even the most difficult sections feel fair and rewarding. The pixel art is beautiful, and the soundtrack is absolutely phenomenal, perfectly complementing the game's emotional beats. So why is it on this list? While it received universal critical acclaim, it's an indie game with a high level of difficulty, which can deter some players. But if you're looking for a deeply personal, incredibly rewarding, and beautifully crafted platformer that will challenge your skills and touch your heart, Celeste is a peak experience that you shouldn't miss. At number 16, we're diving into the neon-drenched, time-bending world of Katana Zero. This indie action platformer from Soft, released in 2019, is pure adrenaline. You play as a samurai assassin who can slow down time and plan out every move, making each encounter a deadly puzzle. The combat is incredibly fluid and satisfying. One hit kills both you and your enemies, leading to a constant cycle of trial and error. That feels incredibly rewarding when you finally nail that perfect run. The pixel art style is gorgeous, vibrant, and full of personality, and the synthwave soundtrack is an absolute bop. The story is surprisingly deep and mysterious, with a non-linear narrative and impactful dialogue choices. So why is it often overlooked? Being an indie game, it might not have gotten the mainstream attention it deserved. But if you're looking for a stylish, challenging, and incredibly satisfying action game, with a killer soundtrack and a compelling story, Katana Zero is a forgotten indie gem that will keep you coming back for more. Coming in at number 15, we have a truly unique entry, Pentiment. Developed by Obsidian Entertainment, known for their incredible RPGs, this narrative adventure game from 2022 is unlike anything else you've played. Set in 16th century Bavaria, you play as Andreas Mahler, an artist who gets entangled in a series of murders and mysteries over 25 years. The game's art style is stunning, inspired by medieval manuscripts and woodcuts, making every frame feel like a living piece of history. The gameplay is driven by choices and consequences, with your decisions shaping the narrative and the lives of the characters around you. It's a game that respects history and encourages critical thinking, delving into themes of religion, class, and art. So why is it often forgotten? It's a niche game, with a slower pace and a heavy focus on reading and historical context, which might not appeal to everyone. But if you appreciate deep storytelling, unique art direction, and a game that truly makes you think, Pentiment is a forgotten masterpiece that offers an unparalleled narrative experience. Next up, at number 14, we're diving into the brutal, ever-changing worlds of Remnant 2. Released in 2023 by Gunfire Games, this action RPG with third-person shooter elements is a true hidden gem for fans of challenging combat and endless replayability. It's often described as Dark Souls with guns, and for good reason. You create your character and venture through procedurally generated worlds, each with unique biomes, enemies, and bosses. The gunplay is tight and satisfying, with a wide variety of weapons and mods to experiment with. The class system, known as archetypes, allows for deep character customization and synergy with co-op partners. The lore is rich and mysterious, hinting at a vast interconnected multiverse. So why might it be overlooked? It's a challenging game that can be punishing, and its roguelite elements might not appeal to everyone. But if you're looking for a co-op friendly shooter with deep build crafting, intense boss fights, and endless content, Remnant 2 is a formidable force that you absolutely need to experience. Moving on to number 13, we have another fantastic RPG, Sea of Stars. Released in 2023 by Sabotage Studio, this game is a love letter to classic 16-bit RPGs, but with a fresh, modern feel. It tells the story of two children of the solstice, Valir and Zale, who use the powers of the sun and moon to fight monstrous creations. The pixel art is absolutely breathtaking, with vibrant colors and incredible attention to detail. That makes every screen a work of art. The turn-based combat is engaging, with active inputs that allow you to deal more damage, or reduce incoming damage, keeping you involved in every attack. The music is enchanting, and the story is charming and full of heart, with memorable characters and a sense of wonder. So why might it be overlooked? It's an indie game in a genre that can be a bit niche, and it came out in a year packed with amazing RPGs. But if you're looking for a beautiful, charming, and incredibly fun RPG that evokes the golden age of the genre, Sea of Stars is a shining example that you absolutely need to play. At number 12, we're heading back to the Bay Area with Watchdogs 2. Released in 2016 by Ubisoft Montreal, this open-world action-adventure game is a massive improvement over its predecessor. You play as Marcus Holloway, a charismatic hacker who joins the DedSec group to fight against the oppressive CTOS 2.0 surveillance system. The game shines with its vibrant, living open world of San Francisco, full of diverse activities and a fantastic sense of humor. Hacking is at the core of the gameplay, allowing you to manipulate almost anything in the environment, from traffic lights to drones, creating incredibly creative and often hilarious solutions to missions. The parkour is fluid, the gunplay is solid, and the co-op multiplayer adds another layer of fun. So why did it get overshadowed? It launched in a very crowded year for open-world games, and some initial technical issues might have deterred players. But if you're looking for a fun, creative, and genuinely charming open-world hacking adventure, Watch Dogs 2 is a forgotten gem that deserves a second look. Coming in at number 11, we're embarking on an epic RPG journey with Octopath Traveler 2. Developed by Square Enix and Acquire, and released in 2023, this game is a stunning example of modern JRPGs with a classic feel. It features 8 new travelers, each with their own unique story and path actions, allowing for incredible freedom in how you approach the world. The HD 2D art style is absolutely gorgeous, blending pixel art characters with stunning 3D environments, creating a unique and beautiful aesthetic. The turn-based combat system is deep and strategic, with a break and boost system that makes every battle engaging. Each character's story is compelling, and the way they intertwine is masterfully done. So why might it be forgotten? It's a niche genre, and while it received critical acclaim, it might not have reached a wider audience. But if you're a fan of classic JRPGs with a modern twist, beautiful art, and deep storytelling, Octopath Traveler 2 is a phenomenal adventure that deserves your attention.
Every road is yours to take. Octopath Traveler 2, February 24th.
Coming in at number 10, we have the supernatural action-adventure Ghostwire, Tokyo. Developed by Tango Gameworks, the minds behind The Evil Within, this game launched in 2022 and offers a truly unique experience. Imagine Tokyo, but almost everyone has vanished, and it's now overrun by menacing spirits called visitors. You play as Akito, who teams up with a spirit detective named KK, gaining elemental powers to fight these spectral threats. The combat is incredibly stylish and satisfying, using hand gestures to unleash powerful spells. It feels like you're conducting an orchestra of destruction. Exploring the beautifully rendered, yet eerily empty streets of Tokyo is a highlight, with tons of hidden secrets and side quests that delve into Japanese folklore. So why isn't everyone talking about it? It might have been a bit too niche for some, or perhaps the open-world elements felt a little sparse compared to other titles. But if you're looking for something different, with a fantastic atmosphere, unique combat, and a deep dive into Japanese mythology, Ghostwire. Tokyo is a spiritual successor to your gaming library that you absolutely shouldn't miss. Sliding into number 9, we're braving the post-apocalyptic Russian wasteland with Metro Exodus. Developed by 4A Games and released in 2019, this first-person shooter combines the linear, atmospheric corridors of previous Metro games with expansive, semi-open world areas. You play as Artyom, leading a band of Spartan Rangers on a desperate journey across a devastated Russia in search of a new home. The game's atmosphere is incredibly immersive, with stunning visuals, dynamic weather, and a constant sense of dread. The survival elements are intense, forcing you to scavenge for resources, manage your gas mask filters, and maintain your weapons. The gunplay is weighty and satisfying, and the blend of stealth and action keeps you on your toes. So why is it often forgotten? It's a more niche title, with a slower pace and a strong focus on narrative and atmosphere, which might not appeal to all FPS fans. But if you're looking for a truly immersive, story-driven survival shooter with incredible world-building, Metro Exodus is a forgotten masterpiece that will leave you breathless. At number 8, we're going undercover in the gritty streets of Hong Kong with Sleeping Dogs. Released in 2012 by United Front Games, this open-world action-adventure game puts you in the shoes of Wei Shen, an undercover cop infiltrating the Triads. What sets Sleeping Dogs apart is its incredible martial arts combat. It's fluid, brutal, and incredibly satisfying, allowing you to chain together combos and use environmental takedowns like a true action movie star. The driving is arcadey and fun, and the city of Hong Kong is beautifully realized, feeling alive and authentic. The story is a compelling tale of loyalty, betrayal, and identity, with a fantastic voice cast. So why did it become a forgotten classic? It had a troubled development, was almost cancelled, and then released in a crowded year. But if you're a fan of open-world games, martial arts movies, or just want to experience a unique setting with fantastic combat, Sleeping Dogs is an absolute must-play that deserves to be remembered. At number 7, we're soaring through the clouds with Bioshock Infinite. Released in 2013 by Irrational Games, this first-person shooter is a narrative masterpiece. You play as Booker DeWitt, sent to the floating city of Columbia to rescue Elizabeth, a mysterious young woman with the power to tear open rifts in time and space. The city of Columbia itself is a character, a breathtakingly beautiful yet deeply unsettling utopia built on dark secrets. The gunplay is fast-paced and satisfying, with a unique combination of firearms and powerful vigors, superpowers. The relationship between Booker and Elizabeth is the heart of the game, and their journey through Columbia is filled with shocking twists and turns that will leave you thinking long after the credits roll. So why is it on a forgotten list? While it was critically acclaimed and sold well, some argue it didn't quite live up to the legacy of the original Bioshock, and its ending can be divisive. But if you're looking for a truly unforgettable narrative experience with stunning visuals and unique gameplay, Bioshock Infinite is a soaring achievement that deserves to be revisited. Next up, at number 6, we're heading into the wasteland with Mad Max. Released in 2015, this open-world action game from Avalanche Studios, the folks behind Just Cause, puts you in the dusty boots of Max Rokitansky. And let me tell you, they nailed the Mad Max vibe. The game's all about survival in a brutal, post-apocalyptic world, and your car, the magnum opus, is your lifeline. Vehicle combat is a huge part of the game, and it's incredibly satisfying. Ramming, shooting, harpooning, and blowing up enemy vehicles feels awesome. But it's not just about the cars. The hand-to-hand combat is surprisingly robust, reminiscent of the Arkham series, allowing for brutal, bone-crunching takedowns. You're constantly scavenging for scrap to upgrade your car and Max himself, which creates a really addictive gameplay loop. So why did it get lost in the desert? It came out around the same time as Metal Gear Solid 5, which was a massive release, and some critics felt it was a bit repetitive. But if you're a fan of the Mad Max universe, or just love open-world games with satisfying combat and a strong sense of atmosphere, Mad Max is a forgotten gem that's worth every drop of gasoline. Sliding into number 5, we have the sci-fi horror immersive sim, Prey. Developed by Arcane Studios, the geniuses behind Dishonored, this game launched in 2017 and is a true spiritual successor to classics like System Shock. You wake up on Talos Y, a space station overrun by a hostile alien entity called the Typhon. What makes Prey so special is its incredible freedom and emergent gameplay. You can use a vast array of powers, weapons, and environmental interactions to overcome challenges. Want to turn into a coffee cup and roll through a tiny vent? Go for it. Want to hack a turret to fight for you? Absolutely. The station itself is a character, a meticulously designed, interconnected environment that encourages exploration and experimentation. So why isn't it a household name? It might have been confused with the older Prey game, or perhaps its slow burn, psychological horror approach wasn't for everyone. But if you love deep gameplay systems, a compelling mystery, and a truly atmospheric sci-fi setting, Prey is a forgotten classic that will stick with you long after the credits roll. At number 4, we're stepping into the cyberpunk future with Deus Ex: Mankind Divided. Released in 2016 by Eidos Montreal, this immersive sim is a masterclass in player choice and consequence. You reprise your role as Adam Jensen, an augmented super agent in a world where augmented humans are segregated and feared. The game excels in offering multiple ways to approach every objective. Go in guns blazing, sneak through vents, hack every system, or talk your way out of trouble. The level design is intricate, with countless paths and secrets to uncover, rewarding exploration and clever thinking. The augmentation system is deep, allowing you to customize Jensen to fit your playstyle perfectly. So why did this gem get overlooked? It ended on a cliffhanger, hinting at a sequel that never came, and some felt it was too similar to its predecessor, Human Revolution. But if you crave a game that respects your intelligence, offers unparalleled freedom, and immerses you in a rich, thought-provoking cyberpunk world, Deus Ex: Mankind Divided is a forgotten masterpiece that's still incredibly relevant today. At number 3, we're dropping into the action with Titanfall 2. Developed by Respawn Entertainment and released in 2016, this first-person shooter is a prime example of how to do a single-player campaign right. You play as Jack Cooper, a rifleman who unexpectedly becomes a pilot and bonds with a Vanguard-class Titan named BT-7274. The campaign is a masterclass in level design, constantly introducing new mechanics and ideas that keep the gameplay fresh and exciting. The blend of fast-paced pilot combat, with wall running and double jumping, and the powerful strategic Titan combat is simply unparalleled. The story is surprisingly heartfelt, focusing on the unique relationship between Cooper and BT. So, why is it often forgotten? It was notoriously released in a crowded window between Battlefield 1 and Call of Duty: Infinite Warfare, which severely impacted its sales. But if you're looking for one of the best FPS campaigns ever made, with incredibly satisfying gameplay and a memorable duo, Titanfall 2 is a colossal achievement that deserves all the recognition. At number 2, we have Quantum Break. Developed by Remedy Entertainment, the masters of cinematic storytelling, this game dropped in 2016 and was a true sci-fi spectacle. It's an action-adventure third-person shooter that blends a gripping narrative with live-action TV episodes. Yeah, you heard that right. You play as Jack Joyce, who gains time-manipulating powers after a failed experiment. The core gameplay revolves around these powers. You can freeze enemies in time, dash through bullet storms, and even rewind environmental damage. The gunplay feels super satisfying, and combining your time powers with your weapons creates some seriously cool combat scenarios. The story is a mind-bending ride, full of twists and turns, and the live-action segments actually do a fantastic job of deepening the plot and characters. So why is it forgotten? Maybe it was the Xbox exclusivity initially, or perhaps it got overshadowed by other big releases that year. But seriously, if you love a good story, unique gameplay mechanics, and a dose of time-traveling chaos, Quantum Break is a must-play. It's a cinematic masterpiece that deserves way more love. And finally, at number 1, the game that truly embodies the spirit of forgotten but excellent: Nier, Automata. Developed by Platinum Games and published by Square Enix, this action RPG from 2017 is a masterpiece of storytelling, combat, and existential philosophy. You play as androids 2B, 9S, and A2 in a post-apocalyptic world where humanity has fled to the moon, leaving their androids to fight a proxy war against alien-created machines. The combat is fluid, stylish, and incredibly satisfying, a hallmark of Platinum Games. But what truly sets Nier, Automata apart is its narrative. It's a game that demands multiple playthroughs, with each new route revealing more layers to its complex, emotional, and thought-provoking story. The soundtrack is absolutely legendary, and the game constantly breaks traditional video game conventions, blending genres and perspectives in unique ways. So why is it on this list? While it received critical acclaim, its unique structure and philosophical themes might have made it a bit niche for some. And it's not a game that's easily digestible in a single playthrough. But if you're looking for an unforgettable experience that will challenge your perceptions, make you feel deeply, and leave you thinking long after you've finished, Nier. Automata is an absolute must-play. It's a true work of art that deserves to be remembered and celebrated. And there you have it, StormLock Squad. Did I miss any of your favorite forgotten gems? Is there a game on this list that you think deserves even more recognition? Let me know in the comments below. I love hearing your thoughts and discovering new games. If you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to StormLock Vault for more gaming content, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next video. Until next time, keep exploring, keep gaming, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.